Welcome friends. Let us go for the next part of discussion, that is organic chemistry. There are many compounds in chemistry literature. Every particular element of period as well as group offers compounds in the chemistry literature. Whereas out of all possible varieties of existing compounds, this existing compound number is always an increasing number. And here, out of these many number of compounds offered by the elements present in the periodic table, there is a special element in the periodic table, that is carbon. Carbon offers some percentage of compounds to the total existing number of compounds. Hence, that particular compounds related study, that particular element related compounds study is compulsory, and that was made as a separate part of chemistry, and that particular portion where carbon compounds related study is exclusively occurs is known as carbon chemistry. The other name of carbon chemistry is also known as organic chemistry. Thus we can define organic chemistry as chemistry of carbon compounds, because the number of compounds offered by the carbon are a percentage, a valued percentage to the existing all number of compounds present in the chemistry literature. And day by day the number of compounds of carbon are increasing. As time increases, the number of compounds are also getting increasing. Due to this reason, carbon compounds are specially studied as a separate part of chemistry, which is named as organic chemistry. Thus we can define organic chemistry as the chemistry of carbon compounds. Now if you go in details, see, there are many compounds in chemistry literature. Every element of each period as well as group offers compounds, and a specific portion of compounds are provided by carbon. A valid percentage of compounds are given from the carbon side to the existing number of compounds present in the chemistry literature. Due to special properties of this particular element carbon, which is present in the second period as well as the fourth group, offers many number of compounds. We will discuss what are its special properties, how many varieties of compounds are possible. Timely, the number of compounds related to the carbon are increasing. Hence, this increasing number of compounds are studied as a separate part of chemistry, which is known as chemistry of carbon. That chemistry of carbon is known as organic chemistry. Thus, the modern definition related to organic chemistry is chemistry of carbon compounds. The modern definition of organic chemistry is chemistry of carbon compounds. Till in this part of explanation, we covered here what is the modern definition for the organic chemistry, what organic chemistry includes, which particular compounds are generally studied, and why that particular compounds are studied under the definition of organic chemistry. Thus, we can feel the conclusion like this: the number of carbon compounds are ever increasing, and it offers a specific portion of all existing compounds present in the chemistry literature. The world of chemistry, chemistry of carbon compounds is a special world. It is having all varieties of compounds, and that number is always increasing. Almost all, here the number of compounds present from the other elements are some limited, whereas the carbon number, growth in carbon compounds number is very high compared to the other compounds related, other elements related compounds growth. Hence, as being it is a special thing which completes the all varieties of incidents, hence the carbon compounds are studied as a separate part, and the modern definition for the organic chemistry can be known as the chemistry of the study of carbon compounds is nothing but what? Organic chemistry. Thus, here we covered till what is the modern definition for organic chemistry, and which particular elements compounds are studied, and why that particular elements compounds are studied. The next question arises for us that what is the use of carbon compounds? Though we are making that one as a special part of chemistry, we named it as organic chemistry, but where the carbon compounds usage is present. If you know, then we will feel very healthy to understand the organic chemistry. We feel so interest to know the organic chemistry. The second question arises, what is the use of carbon compounds in daily life? What is the use of carbon compounds in day-to-day life and in biological life? Thus now we are going to discuss. There are many uses of organic compounds, especially for our easiness of understanding here. We can divide the uses of organic compounds into two ways, in daily life as well as in biological life. In daily life, whatever fuels we are using, whatever polymers we are using, whatever colors, that is dyes we are using, whatever drugs and the medicines we are using, and in the preparation of many of the things, the complexes, and in the transformation of organic compounds, the reagents, many of them are made from the carbon compounds. Similarly, here in biological life, carbon plays an important vital role here in the formation of DNA. DNA is consisting of carbon skeleton, RNA, proteins, muscles. Even here the blood is also a complex mixture of many varieties of the carbon compounds. Thus, everywhere carbon is present. Without carbon, we can't expect today's life. Here, polymers, polymer industry comes, dyes industry, complexes and the medicines and drugs will form pharma industries, complexes in the form of colors and polymers, reagent industry, that is making of reagents is a special part of an industry. Thus daily uses consisting of portions are established in the form of industry. Thus everywhere in daily life of normal person and to synthesize those of all things in the bulk manner in the industry scale as well as in biological life, whereas biological life is also once again turned towards the industry. Everywhere carbon chemistry is present. That's what understanding of carbon nature and understanding of the carbon compounds is necessary. Thus we are reading the carbon compounds as a separate part of chemistry which has named as organic chemistry. So I made it clear that what are the daily uses and what are the uses of the carbon compounds. Daily as of two types, that is uses are of two types, daily usage followed by biological usage, as I said, like this, which is present on the board. The next question that arises, what are the general chemical combinations of the carbon to give these many varieties of compounds which are having utilities in daily life, which are having utilities in industrial life, which are having utilities in biological life. Now we will discuss what are its general chemical combinations, with whom generally carbon participates in chemical combination that results into the different varieties of so-called discussed compounds. Yes, with whom the chemical combination occurs. Generally, in the formation of many varieties of compounds related to the carbon, the chemical combinations of carbon occurs with hydrogen, carbon, and this particular combination is a regular combination. Without this particular carbon-carbon chemical combination or the carbon-hydrogen chemical combination, expectation of organic compounds becomes difficult. So therefore, this particular chemical combination of carbon with hydrogens and carbons are generally known as primary combinations. This is primary combination. Whereas carbon also chemically involves chemical combination, involves chemically connectivity with the other atoms like nitrogen, oxygen and the halogen atoms like fluorine, chlorine, bromine and the iodine. But these also happens and these are said to be orphan combinations. Whereas not only along with the nitrogen, oxygen, halogens, it can also chemically combines with the phosphorus as well as the sulfur. But this particular chemical combinations with the carbon happens very rarely. Hence, we can say these combinations are rare combinations. Followed by with some metals, with some D black elements also. Carbon chemically combines to form the complexes, to form the reagents. Those of all are generally very rarest of the cases, and these combinations are said to be the other combinations. Thus, to form the different varieties of the compounds, to form the innumerable number of compounds, countless number of compounds, uncountable number of compounds related to the carbon, which are known as carbon compounds. Carbon chemically combines with hydrogen, carbon. These are regular combinations, these are primary combinations, compulsory combinations. Whereas it can also chemically combines with nitrogen, oxygen, halogen, and similarly it can chemically combines with phosphorus, sulfur, rare cases, and with others metals. Otherwise, first A group elements, second A group elements, followed by some of the D black elements, chemical combinations occurs. Those of all are said to be the other combinations. Like this, due to these many varieties of chemical combinations, all varieties of permutations and combinations are also possible. On behalf of this, many number of carbon compounds are possible. That's what it becomes an uncountable number. Thus, it has to be read as a separate part of chemistry, which is known as organic chemistry. Then question arises, what are the general examples of each particular variety of chemical combinations? Primarily, we came to know that different varieties of chemical combinations are there. As a result, what are the resulting carbon compounds with every variety of specific chemical combination? Yes, the general varieties of the organic compounds where chemical combination behalf of, what are those? Carbon chemical combination with hydrogen, those of all are generally known as hydrocarbons. The regular examples, methane, ethane, etc. Carbon chemically combines with carbon, that leads to different varieties of carbon chains like saturated chain, unsaturated chains like carbon. Carbon is having double bond, triple bond, even it is having cyclic nature. Even it is having cyclic nature followed by some portion of unsaturation, some portion of saturation, like many varieties are possible. On these many varieties, it can be combined with hydrogen, it can be combined with any other atoms. Similarly, chemical combination of carbon with nitrogen leads to amines as well as amines like primary amines, secondary amines, tertiary amines, etc. Similarly, chemical combination of carbon with oxygen that leads to the formation of alcohols. Carbon and oxygen chemical combination also gives aldehydes, ketones, acids as well as esters. And chemical combination of carbon directly with the halogen gives halides. Such kind of different varieties of many compounds formation generally takes place. These are the regular combinations. In this also, all varieties of permutations and combinations are allowed. As a result, different varieties of other compounds formation takes place. These are the direct combination results. Whereas one with the other, suppose here carbon with the oxygen followed by nitrogen combinations are possible. Nitrogen followed by halogen combinations are possible. Oxygen followed by halogen combinations are possible. That also leads to the formation of different varieties of compounds. And the different functional groups containing entities can also be present on a one moiety. Thus, it leads to the different properties associated compounds. Thus, carbon compounds is not having an end. It is having innumerable values, innumerable properties. Such kind of many varieties of compounds can be prepared from the carbon compounds. Thus, it has to be read as a separate part of chemistry, which has named modernly as organic chemistry. Examples for the chemical combination of carbon with more than one variety of atoms like nitrogen as well as the oxygen. That leads to the formation of a special functional group known as nitro compounds, amines as well as amino acids. Thus nitro compound is having functional group of NO2, amides CONH2, and amino acids one side amine group and other side it is having acid functional groups. Similarly, chemical combination of the carbon hydrogens with oxygen and the halogens leads to the formation of different varieties of functional groups containing system like acid halides, etc. And here multifunctional groups containing moieties can also be generated. All varieties of permutations and combinations are allowed. Thus, innumerable number of carbon compounds are existing and its number is increasing day by day. Their properties, their uses are also different. Hence, it has to be, as I said in the early, as a separate part of chemistry, which has named modernly as organic chemistry. The functional groups present with the combination of more than one varieties of atoms like nitrogen followed by oxygen, nitro group is NO2, amide group is CONH2, and the amino acid is consisting acid functional group followed by amine as the functional group. And this is acid halide. Simplest acid halide is, that is two carbons containing, that is acetyl chloride, which is also known as ethanol chloride. Thus, many varieties of compounds are possible due to its special property. Thus, it can chemically combines with the many other varieties of atoms at once. Then, at the next stage, question comes for us that how organic chemistry is evolving. Because what we are discussing, the definition that we are saying it as modern definition of organic chemistry. It must be some old definition, some ancient definition. Then how it is transformed towards the modern definition, and what is the theory behind the carbon compounds in the olden days. How this modern definition came into existence is a question of eligibility. Now the question for the study is how this organic chemistry was evolved. What is its origin? In the beginning, the carbon compounds are known as what? Why only carbon compounds are read as a separate part? In the beginning, why this particular discrimination came? Then if it is organic, then what is meant by inorganic? What is its olden days understanding level of the organic as well as the inorganic? Now the question is how organic chemistry is evolved. It is a story of 250 years. There is a famous scientist of that generation from the country Sweden, and his name is Berzelius. Berzelius classified the compounds into two varieties on behalf of a special logic. As far his logic is concerned, compounds are divided into two categories. Compounds which are obtained from the living organisms like either animal or plant are of one category, and the compounds obtained from the other, that is from the non-living things, that is from the mineral origin, are of one category. And is said a special reason. That theory is known as Vittel theory as well as Vittel force theory also. As for Berzelius, and the theory proposed by Berzelius, which is known as Vittel theory or the Vittel force theory, compounds are categorized into two varieties. That is compounds obtained from the living organisms, that is either from plant or from the animal, are having one variety, one set of properties, and compounds obtained from the mineral origin, non-living organisms. Non-living organisms are having another set of properties. As for this particular theory, organic compounds are those which are obtained from the living organisms, and organic compounds are just prepared in the body of living things like plant as well as the animal, they never be prepared outside. They requires a special attention, they requires a special force. That divine force is vital force. That vital force is possible in organisms only. Thus in organisms, whichever compounds are prepared, those are very special and having their own characteristic special set of properties, and those of all compounds are known as organic compounds. And remaining compounds which are obtained from the minerals, which can be transformed to other compounds by chemical reactions in the lab, those of all are having their own characteristic set of properties, and they can't be the part of living organisms. Those of all are said to be non-living organisms related compounds. Those of all are known as non-living oriented, non-living origin containing compounds are said to be inorganic compounds. Thus, as per Berzelius' proposed theory, which is known as vital force theory, compounds are divided into categories like living thing originated compounds are said to be the organic compounds, non-living thing originated compounds are said to be the inorganic compounds, and these are also known as mineral origin compounds. As per this vital force theory, a special divine vital force is necessary to prepare the organic compounds, which is just possible in the living organisms. Whereas these compounds preparation doesn't require that divine vital force. They can be transformed from one compound to other compound by the normal chemical transformations. Thus, compounds are segregated into these two varieties like organic compounds as well as the inorganic compounds. Thus, as per Berzelius, living organisms related compounds are organic compounds. They are just prepared in the living organisms because they requires a special force, that is very divine force, that is known as vital force. That vital force is present inside the living organisms, hence they just occurs inside the living bodies, and they are generated from the living bodies only. Whereas the non-organic compounds, which are known as non-living originated compounds, are said to be the mineral compounds or mineral originated compounds. These are known as inorganic compounds. They doesn't require any of the vital force for the synthesis, for their preparation. Thus it becomes very clear at the Berzelius stage or Berzelius time that organic compounds can't be converted to inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds can't be converted to the organic compounds. Thus, this interconversion, organic compounds to inorganic, is not possible, and at the same time, inorganic compounds to organic compounds is also not possible. This is the history related to the organic compounds name, why organic compounds and how organic compounds are evolved. And this particular scenario related to the naming of organic and inorganic came by Berzelius with the proposal of vital force theory. It occurred in the year of 1780s. Now question arises, how this old definition, that is compounds of living organisms which are known as organic compounds and organic chemistry, is changed towards the modern definition, that is compounds of carbon. And this particular credit goes to Euler, who prepared the organic compound with the help of inorganic compound, and that was occurred in the year 1828. Yes, in the year 1828, Friedrich Euler, a German chemist, got success in preparation of organic compound, living organisms related compound, origin compound from the mineral originated compound. Thus, for the first time, He prepared the organic compound in laboratory, which was not expected to be synthesized as per the Berzelius vital force theory, but he made successful by the preparation of organic compound with the help of inorganic compound. Thus, for the first time, organic compound is prepared in laboratory, and that organic compound is urea, whereas it was prepared from ammonium cyanide. Ammonium cyanide is inorganic compound having mineral origin. This inorganic ammonium cyanide help was taken to prepare a new compound which is having living organism origin, which is known as organic compound. Thus, if you go for the transformation, what happened here is ammonium cyanide, NH4ClO, it is a salt. Ammonium is present in the form of cation. ClO minus is present in the form of anion, that is 1 unit positive charge, 1 unit negative charge containing 1:1 ratio containing complex cation and the complex anion containing mineral originated salt is ammonium cyanide. This ammonium cyanide on heating, it is converted to a new compound. That new compound is having molecular formula same, but the structural connectivity is different compared to that of the ammonium cyanide, which is an ionic compound. And this compound obtained new compound is covalent compound. And this particular compound is very famous. It is present in urine, which is known as urea. The chemical formula and the structural representation of urea is NH2CO, NH2, which is always present as a part of living organisms known as organic compound. Thus, for the first time with the help of inorganic compounds, organic compound is prepared inside the laboratory. It proves that vital force theory is no more existing. It is a false theory. Any compound can be prepared from the any other origins or with the same origin. Thus, the world scientists are so excited to synthesize the organic compounds, which are known as living organism originated compounds inside laboratory with the help of inorganic compounds. Thus, every variety of compound is prepared inside the laboratory. Thus, the carbon compounds are major in number. Thus, this new chemistry where carbon compounds majority is more is named as organic chemistry. It is a rearrangement reaction known as molecular rearrangement reaction. Due to this molecular reagent with the same molecular formula, new compound is obtained having some other nature, which is covalent nature, and it is having origin of living organisms known as organic compound. It is obtained from the inorganic compounds. Thus, many varieties of living organism oriented compounds are prepared in laboratory. After Frederick Euler, many scientists focused their attention. Thus, in the successive years like 1845, Kolbe prepared the acetic acid, which is having the living origin from its constituent elements, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen's chemical combination help was taken to prepare acetic acid. Thus, acetic acid is prepared for the first time from its constituent elements. These of all are inorganic origin, whereas acetic acid is having organic origin. And in the successive years like 1856, with the constituent elements like carbon and hydrogen, methane was prepared by Berthollet. Thus, organic compounds are prepared inside the laboratory with the inorganic origin. Thus, at many parts of the world, the preparation, nothing but synthesis of the organic compounds was so excess in number, so huge in number. Thus, many varieties of compounds are prepared. But majority of the compounds are consisting carbon as the entity, carbon as the entity. Hence, this particular definition is modified. Thus, organic chemistry is not the chemistry of the living compounds. This is the chemistry of what? Carbon compounds. Next question arises, what makes carbon to exhibit more number of compounds? What is the speciality of the carbon? Why only carbon is exhibiting more number of compounds? That is eligible for the discussion. What makes carbon to exhibit more number of compounds? Yes, what makes carbon to exhibit more number of compounds can be explained on behalf of three particular facts. Number one, type of bonds formed by the carbon. Number two, the spatial arrangement of bonds associated with the carbon. And the number three is special properties associated with the carbon. Yes, in the consecutive years of modern definition of the organic chemistry establishment, a new theory, that is new theory related to the bonding, electronic theory of valency, and one particular part of electronic theory of valency is covalent bond. Covalent bond related all theoretical and the practical informations are established, and a theory was developed related to the covalent bond formation. Carbon in the organic compounds also forms the same covalent bond, so therefore that theory helped a lot to enhance or to increase the research work and to understand the background theory concept related to the carbon, how it will forms many number of bonds. The first cause is type of bonds. The type of bonds that are formed by the carbon are covalent bonds. Electrovalence theory of covalency, electrovalence theory of covalent bond explains how covalent bond formation occurs, how many varieties of covalent bonds are there. In that particular part, carbon related explanation was given in a wonderful manner. Thereby understanding of number of bonds formed by carbon became easy. Thereby research work as well as number of compounds associated with the carbon as per research work is concerned are increasing. And second theory is spatial arrangement of carbon. Carbon generally forms four bonds, that it is known as tetravalency. But this tetravalency, that is the four bonds are not present in plane. They are present in tetrahedral manner. Four bonds can be present in planar manner. Four bonds can be present in three-dimensional space, not in two dimensions. In three-dimensional space, if they are adjusted, if they are connected, it appears outside as a regular tetrahedron. Such kind of explanation was also given. That is, carbon bonds are not present in the two-dimensional manner. They are present in the three dimensions. After connecting the valency atoms, it appears in the form of tetrahedral, but it is not the square planar, it is the tetrahedral. Such kind of clear explanation was also be provided. Thus it helped a lot to understand the carbon chemistry. Yes, a famous scientist's combination, that is Liebel and Van't, provided the information that the four valencies connected with the carbon are present in the three-dimensional space, making an angle of 109 degrees 28 minutes, which appears in the form of tetrahedral from outside, which is known as tetrahedral arrangement of valencies around the carbon. Suppose if carbon is present, this is carbon. Around this carbon, any three valencies, if you take, those of three valencies are present in one plane. Thus, these three can be present in one plane. 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 But all four valencies can't be adjusted in one plane. They are present at the three dimensions, making an angle, equal angle of 109 degrees 28 minutes. And moreover, covalent bond also reveals that carbon can form four bonds in the tetrahedral manner. Carbon can form two bonds in which one sigma bond, three sigma bonds and one pi bond is there, making an angle of 120 degrees. Whereas carbon can form two bonds, whereas two sigma associated with the two pi bonds that can be present in this manner. That can be present in this manner also. Like this, it is making an angle of 180 degrees. For one connectivity, we can't say any kind of angle over there. Thus, carbon related all varieties of bond formation natures, varieties of bonds can form only sigma bonds, 4 out of 4, can form 3 sigma followed by 1 pi bond, and what is its elemental features to form such kind of 4 bonds, 3 bonds, 2 sigma bonds and 1 sigma bond. Such kind of all varieties are established from the covalent bond theory of electronic theory of valency. Thus this particular electronic theory of valency followed by tetrahedral nature of carbon helped a lot to understand the organic chemistry. Along with this, special properties of carbon are also responsible to form many varieties of compounds which are known as organic compounds. Those special properties, what makes carbon to exhibit many number of compounds, will be discussed in the next class.